Hi Gemini, welcome to your week ahead tarot with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. If you are already a continued subby, you know I love you for it. With that said, if you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can do so on the website address below. And before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So let's check it out. This week, for your key to the week, you have the Emperor card, right? This is making you strong, confident, sure. It might even be making you a little bit feistier than usual. Now, whenever you see the Emperor card, this is usually about, so very often it can be about commitment, but sometimes it can be about the institutional things that you come up against, right? So it does look like you're trying to, a lot of you are trying to get something up off the ground. Now, here's the thing about the Emperor, right? It demands that you do everything above board, which means in some way, shape or form, you may have your loyalty tested this week, or maybe you might come up against some sort of a test. Now, this week, the thing is, you need to know as well, it might not necessarily be something that you see as a test. It might just be something that you know, like a specific event. Just be aware. I think the message that I need to give you this week is be aware that you are being observed, right? Even when you think you're not. I don't know who needs that message, but I'm going to tell you anyway, because that is the feeling of it. Whoever you are, wherever you are, if you carry Gemini energy this week, even when you think you are off, you are still on, right? Whether that's stage, duty, whatever, right? So just be aware. For your actions and options this week, you have the Seven of Cups. So this is an interesting one, right? Because you've just had Venus go direct. I mean, on the 25th, actually, you had Venus go direct in your sign, which means she's now going forward, which means you can start to get a much clearer idea from here on in. She's still going to be there for a while. She's got to come out of her shadow period in your sign, and then she's got to pass over the new degrees that she hasn't been in this year as yet. So you haven't quite got all the information, or the, you know, all the, what's the word? All the facts as yet. And, you know, Gemini loves to have the facts, you know, at their disposal or at their hand. Now, because you've got the Seven of Cups in your actions and options, you might find this week that you are still a little bit fuzzy headed. You might find this week as well that you're not necessarily thinking clear when it comes to bosses, when it comes to people that you're aligned with, when it comes to people that you work with. Just be aware, because we've got a Mercury retrograde as well, right? That's your ruling planet is currently retrograde and will be, I mean, till I think it's like the 15th, but it won't be out of shadow, I think, until the 22nd. So again, it's really important that this week, if you don't have to, don't commit to anything. This week, do not promise. Seven of Cups, do not promise what you are not going to be able to deliver on, because the chances are it will bite you in the butt later on, all right? For your communications and conversations, you have the King of Swords. So this falls right underneath the Emperor. Those two together, that's something of a legal nature. Whenever I see the King of Swords and the Emperor card, and I've seen this come up a few times for people that I've read for, maybe they weren't necessarily testing me, but as soon as I see the combination, I'm like, oh, okay, so you're a legal professional of some sort, or da-da-da-da. And then I'll go through the things that I think it might be, and they're kind of like, is there a camera here somewhere? How did you know that? It's because of the combination. Over time, I mean, a lot of you will know this anyway, but over time, the more you read, the more combinations you get used to, that you kind of see. Your brain, your intuition, your knowledge, all of it amalgamates, and you know what you're kind of looking at. It does look like there is some sort of contractual or legal situation that could be arising for you this week. Now, I'm going to be really honest with you, because you've got the Seven of Cups there. if there is something that you are going for this week, i.e. a contract or something that you are initiating, especially when it comes to if you're filing a lawsuit or something against somebody else, if you start it this week, I really will say to you, it's not going to end in your favor. So my biggest piece of advice for you would be to wait. Now, on another level, it does look like your career or your work is something that you're really talking a lot about. It looks like as well, a lot of you are looking at what appears to be a lost opportunity. This is not an easy week for you guys, I'm sorry to say, and my biggest piece of advice would be to cut your losses, right? Whatever they are, cut them and run. Don't take time, move forward, lick your wounds later. For your money and materials, you have the 10 of Wands, right? So this is good. And I think this has a lot to do with the Venus direct. It looks like your money is finally starting to improve. And I know a lot of Geminis will be breathing a very heavy sigh of relief at the moment. Yeah, it just looks like finances or money is definitely improving. Now, one thing that I will say to you as well, it looks like a lot of you are either considering a move or it's coming up for you spontaneously. Now, this could be a change of job for some of you, definitely a possibility, but for others of you, this could be a change of residence as well. Now, when it comes to your physical health, you've got the 10 of Wands with the 7 of Cups. What I'm seeing here is bloating, like around the tummy. So maybe consider what you're eating or drinking this week. Might be something for you to look at, and also lower back issues. So if you suffer with any of those things, this week you might find that they're a little bit heightened. Now, with that said, let's have a look at your love and relations. You have the Knight of Cups. So for those of you that are single, there is an offer that is coming in. There is a declaration of some sort of love. Now, the interesting thing is, for some of you, this person is coming directly to your home. For others, this is somebody that you might meet out there and end up bringing back home. Hey. But for those of you that are partnered, this looks really nice. It looks like your partner is getting some sort of offer or opportunity at work. I just don't feel, because you've got that 7 of Cups there that really keeps drawing my eye, I just don't feel that the offer it's not necessarily that it's not solid. I just feel like the time that they're promising, maybe somebody says, we'd like to take you on for 6 months. It might only end up being 6 weeks. So it just looks like, if a partner is taking work, if it's freelance, then great. But if you're jumping from one job to another, if you can, avoid. Right? This is not an easy week for you guys, I'm sorry to say, but you know me by now. If you've been with me long enough, you know when the cards are tough, I will tell you that you've got some shitstorms on their way so that you can better navigate that. If you are prepared, then right? And you can get past it. You guys are super smart anyway, right? So if I give you the knowledge and information that actually these are the things that you're going to need to sidestep, use your noddle, right? Use your smarts. You've got them. So there we go. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have as best a week as you can. Just take your time with it all right? With that said, take care, and I'll see you soon.